your news for the 90s.
In the news tonight, new claims for unemployment insurance reach record levels, and Joan Mondale stumps in Syracuse.
Also tonight, preparing for the big crash, and the telephone pole says it's close in the 118th.
High clouds signal a change in central New York weather.
Our TV5 student athlete and a World Series for AAA.
Newscenter 5, all the news, with Ron Curtis at our convention headquarters in downtown Syracuse, and Jim Holland in our news center.
Now, Bob Kirk, Carrie Lazarus, Joe Satili's weather, and Steve Cyphers on sports. This is News Center 5.
Good evening. Here's what's going on.
Now, Ron Curtis, Carrie Lazarus, Joe Satili's weather, and Steve Cyphers on sports. This is News Center 5. Now, Bob Kirk, Deborah Keith, Susan Davies, and Mark Cooper on sports. This is News Center 5.
Good evening. Here's what's going on. Deposed Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos and more than 50 of his family and supporters are now...
Now, Chris May, Susan Davies, and Mark Cooper on sports. This is News Center 5.
Good evening. Susan is on assignment tonight.
Now, Ron Curtis, Maureen Green, Susan Davies weather, and Mark Cooper on sports. This is News Center 5. Now, Bob Kirk, Liz Ayers, Susan Davies weather, and Mark Cooper on sports. This is News Center 5.
Good evening. Here's what's going on.
Now, Bob Kirk, Liz Ayers, and Mark Cooper on sports. This is News Center 5.
Good evening. Here's what's going on.
Now, Bob Kirk, Liz Ayers, Marty Scholes weather, and John Eves on sports. This is News Center 5.
Good evening, everyone. Bob Kirk has the night off. Here's what's going on.
Now, Larry Sperano, Tracy Davidson, and John Eves on sports. This is News Center 5.
Lynn Houston, Tracy Davidson. And Mike Tirico on sports. This is News Center 5.
Good evening to you and welcome to our news. It was
Ron Curtis, Liz Ayers, and Graham Robertson. This is News Center 5.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Bob Kirk, Liz Ayers, Marty Skold, and John Eves. This is News Center 5.
good evening. Liz is off tonight. Lynn Houston is joining us. A Syracuse couple will...
Lynn Houston, Tracy Davidson, and Mike Tirico. This is News Center 5.
Good evening to you and welcome to our news. Tonight, Onondaga Indian Chiefs.
Sponsored in part by Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. Nissan cars and trucks built for the most important race, the human race. By Goldberg's Your Money Saver and by Pizza Hut, making it great.
Good afternoon. Welcome to a special edition of Sports Plus. This is Mike Tirico after Syracuse. Big win, 45-20 over Boston College to move the Orange to 8-1 on the season.
Bob Kirk, Tracy Davidson, Mike Tirico, and John Fisher with tomorrow's forecast. This is News Center 5.
Good evening. Here's what's going on. This is D-Day.
Recognized by the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences as outstanding local newscast. This is your news for the 90s. Ron Curtis, Maureen Green, Mike Tirico, and John Fisher. This is News Center 5.
Good evening again, everybody.
This special edition of Sports Plus is brought to you by KeyBank, banking at your convenience, by the Sam Dell Group Delathon, and by 104.7 Kicks FM, classic rock and roll.
And hi, everybody, live from our Channel 5 studios. As you have just seen, just witnessed right here on TV5, the Orangemen have broken their 0-8 jinx at the Cap Center. A very, very impressive win over Georgetown this afternoon.
This is News Center 5 this morning with Liz Ayers.
Good morning. I'm Suzanne Lysak. Liz Ayers will be back on Monday. I'm here along with Kathy Orr.
Now, Ron Curtis, Maureen Green, Brian McGorman with sports, and John Fisher's 5cast. This is News Center 5 at 6.
Good evening again, everybody. It's a less than perfect choice for pro-choicers.
Now, Tracy Davidson, Keith Copeland, Mike Tirico with sports, and John Fisher with tomorrow's forecast. This is News Center 5.
Good evening. Syracuse police are calling it a major hit.
Now, Lynn Houston and Dan Hort with sports. This is News Center 5.
Good evening to you and welcome to our news. Heavy snows have moved into parts of central and northern New York tonight.
WTVH 5, Syracuse. Live from the News Center, Ron Curtis and Maureen Green. This is News Center 5 at noon.
William Jefferson Clinton, do solemnly swear.
With those words, the country has a new leader. Good afternoon, everybody.
WTVH 5, Syracuse. Live from the News Center, Tracy Davidson and Keith Copeland. Brian McGorman with sports and Kathy Orr with tomorrow's 5cast. This is News Center 5 at 11.
The day after Tom Bianco is freed, a new suspect surfaces in the death of an Auburn woman.
Tonight on WTVH 5 News at 11, President Clinton hires a Republican to fix what's wrong with the White House press office. Central New Yorkers try to keep alive the memory of local war dead, and why it looked a little like Hollywood in downtown Syracuse tonight.
You're watching WTVH 5 Syracuse. Now, Lisa Holbrook, John Fisher with your 5cast, and John Burton with sports. This is WTVH 5 News at 11.
He worked for presidents named Nixon and Reagan. Now he's working for a Democrat named Clinton. Good evening. There was
Tonight, who will police the village of Liverpool? The question is simple, but coming up with an answer isn't as easy. Also, this blaze is proof positive that brush fire season is here. So what can you do to avoid a brush fire? And more than 100 Central New York women play a role in a major breakthrough in the fight against breast cancer. This is News 5 at 11 for Monday, April 6th. Good evening, I'm David Muir. It has been fiercely debated for years who will police the streets of Liverpool.
You're watching News 5 at 11 with David Muir, meteorologist Kathy Orr with Bottom Line Weather, and Rob King with sports. You're watching News 5 at 11 with Matt Mulcahy, Ann Hughes, meteorologist Bob Van Dillen with Bottom Line Weather, and Anthony Calhoun with sports. You're watching News 5 at 6 with Ron Curtis, Maureen Green, meteorologist Kathy Orr with Bottom Line Weather, and Rob King with sports.
This is Eyewitness News 5 at 5 with Maureen Green, David Muir, meteorologist Jim Barrick, and the sports highlights are here with Rob King.
WTVH 5 Syracuse. And now live from the first television station in Central New York, this is Eyewitness News 5 at noon.
The fate of the presidency now lies in the hands of the highest court in the land. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Liz Ayers. As many of you know, today is Ron's last day here at WTVH 5.
This is Eyewitness News 5 at noon with Ron Curtis, Liz Ayers, and Stormwatch Weather with Tom Hoff. WTVH 5, Syracuse. And now, live from the first television station in Central New York, this is 5 on your side at 6.
A blast of lake snow slams into Central New York.
You're watching 5 on your side at 6 with Maureen Green, Matt Mulcahy, weather with meteorologist Tom Hoff, and sports with Kevin Marr.
Watching Fox 68, WSYT Syracuse, where news comes first.
Good evening, I'm Matt Mulcahy. Some breaking news to tell you about tonight unfolding in the town of Clay.
Central New York's first news. CBS 5 News at 6 starts right now.
A holiday tradition continues despite a big mistake at the malls. Good evening. Just last night, they...
Central New York's first news. CBS 5 News with Frank Crocker, Maureen Green, AccuWeather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Hoff, and sports with Kevin Marr. CBS 5 News at 6. Central New York's first news. CBS 5 News at 11 starts right now.
TV's only local and live news at this hour continues on the Fox Eyewitness News at 7. It's about time.
Residents voice concerns after a rash of crime on Tip Hill.
Also this morning, Governor George Pataki visits the Mohawk Valley. He says he is prepared to fight to keep Rome Labs open.
A residential boom in downtown Syracuse. Apartment complexes are in the works.
And a pleasant good morning to you, and thanks very much for joining us.
I'm Donna Adamo for the Fox Eyewitness News at 10. A fatal accident in Lysander claims the life of a Baldwinsville High School student. The Fox News at 10 begins now.
You're watching Fox 68 Eyewitness News at 10, where news comes first.
Good evening, I'm Donna Adamo. First on Fox tonight.
CBS 5 News at 6. News that matters most starts right now.
CBS 5 News at 11. News that matters most starts right now.
A 20-month-old toddler, police say beaten to death.
CBS 5 News at 11. News that matters most starts right now.
New court action tomorrow in Albany caps a week of political hijinks. New government rules about smoking and paying for it will fall to those who light up. And older television sets may wind up useless tomorrow after the switch to digital broadcasting. Good evening, I'm Michael Benny. It's back to court tomorrow.
This is CBS 5 News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Michael Benny. You're watching the only local newscast to bring you the biggest stories of the night and the first alert forecast.
From CNY Central, this is CBS 5 News at 11 with Michael Benny.
Good evening, you're watching the only local newscast to bring you the biggest stories of the night and the first alert forecast right off the top.
This is the CBS 5 News at noon with Allison Bybee.
Good afternoon. Thanks for watching CBS 5 News at noon. I'm Allison Bybee. We are following breaking news right now.
This is the CBS 5 News at noon with Allison Bybee.
Good afternoon. Welcome to CBS 5 News at noon on this Monday. We begin.
This is CBS 5 News at 5 with Michael Benny.
Things aren't getting better as we come on the air right now. We're live on the roads as the blast of winter persists.
This is CBS 5 News at 11 with Michael Benny.
Eddydale Fire, Industrial Fire, corner Wolf Street and Kratz Ave.
Breaking tonight, flames and smoke seen for miles.
Live this morning.
Welcome to CBS 5 this morning. I'm Farah Jadrin. We have your top 5 stories to start your day, but
5 News at noon.
Thank you for watching CBS 5 News at noon. I'm Farah Jadrin. We'll have your top 5 stories in just a minute.
To 5 with Michael Benny.
Hello, everyone. You're watching the only local newscast to bring you the biggest stories of the day and a stunning Weather Authority forecast right off the top.
This is CBS 5 News at 6 with Michael Benny.
Good evening. The top 5 stories are on the way. We begin with the Weather Authority forecast right off the top. New at 11, that's baby Ella Rose. Her life reveals a battle some parents are fighting with New York State over surrogacy.
It's her eggs and her husband, they create an embryo and no rights. That's crazy to me.
Tonight, a deep dive on the massive Clay warehouse plan. Why is the company that wants it such a secret? Right now, an alarming report on birds. Billions of them gone. What happened?
That really sort of caught us, in our tracks. A punch to our guts.
CBS 5 News at 11 starts now.
Good evening. The top 5 stories of the night are on the way. We begin with the Weather Authority forecast right off the top. Here's meteorologist Lydia Knock.
This is CBS 5 News at 5 with Michael Benny.
Hello, everyone. You're watching the only local newscast to bring.
This is CBS 5 News at 5:30 with Michael Benny.
Good afternoon. First at 5:30, the top 5.
This is CBS 5 News at 6 with Michael Benny.
Good evening. The top 5 stories are coming up. We begin with a.
This is CBS 5 News at 11 with Michael Benny.
Good evening. Syracuse broke another record this month. The high 88 degrees today. We begin with the Weather Authority.